Okay, so now we're going to talk a little bit about musicals at Narnia Elementary School. And first of all, why don't we say where we are?
Okay, this place is called Tajov, and it's an area right outside of Banska Bystrica. It's a kind of pretty popular recreational area.
This is a ski slope, actually.
Yeah,
We're on
we
a
are
ski
sitting,
slope.
and we are on the side of the valley, and on the other side of this wide valley, there is our new property.
So, musicals. Can you tell me a little bit about what are the musicals at Narnia Elementary School?
Musical is an elective where children have an opportunity to study English in a creative setting. And it's a regular class that meets once a week. We start at the beginning of the year, work on a project, and at the end of the year we perform.
What kind of musicals are these? So what are what's is it The Sound of Music or?
No. Those are not professional musicals. Those are projects that teachers and maybe with the help of the native speakers put together for the children.
So especially Matka Polohova,
It's
that's our sister-in-law, who's also the superintendent of the school, and that's you. You also.
And me. I wrote some, or I shouldn't say wrote. I adapted some, and also I sometimes create my own music for the songs.
And so, like two of the musicals that were just performed this last Sunday, one was Noah.
The story of Noah. One was story of Jonah.
And those came from a rhyming Bible that you adapted then with songs and things like that.
It was fun.
So, when do you start working on these musicals, or how long do you work on the musicals?
Typically for a school year.
For the whole school year?
For the whole
So
school
you start
year.
in September, October?
It's typically October we start, and sometimes in April, sometimes earlier we start performing.
And where do you perform?
Some of the groups perform at competitions too, and we also go on tours where we perform for different schools or for different church fellowships or like retirement center. And we also perform at our church, which is the performance for the parents of the children and for our church family, for church fellowship. And that's a very important event. That's kind of like the highlight of this whole project, because this is where we kind of combine the ministry of the school and ministry of the church. The church family has an
bridge. We could say we bridge the ministry of the school with the ministry of the church.
Where the families of the students have an opportunity to meet with the families of our church, and our church family kind of take an ownership of this whole ministry of the school and try to develop relationships with the families from our school.
So is this a lot of work for you?
Yes, it is.
And especially right now, right? And so why is that? What makes you're working on these musicals all year long. How hard can it be?
Because it's 6 groups of children, so like 6 different musicals that I need to get these groups ready to perform, and then if we do travel, then to organize the whole event. And so
it's organizing, applications for competitions, or
yes,
organizing transportation, or getting waivers
communicating,
from the kids.
Communicating with parents and with organizers. It's a lot of this type of work.
And it's concentrated at this time of year, so it's
Yes.
a lot of work.
Yes.
But it's exciting to see the fruits of your labor and see the parents. This last Sunday was our first performance this year, and it was a special Sunday because we dedicated the property. We just bought the property that where Narnia Elementary School is located, and this last Sunday was the musical performance, but it was also a dedication. So the parents of the kids who performed came on Sunday, but also a lot more parents who've been involved, whose kids have been in Narnia for a long time, came. And after the musical performances, then Slavo, Jana's brother and the pastor of the church, he kind of went through that process of purchasing the property, and that was a process of seeing God's hand at work through the whole thing, and it was a way of giving a testimony to these parents, most of whom are not believers, that God is real and He's big, and they're a part of something that He's behind. And so afterwards, when we talked with some parents, some of them said that they said the musicals were great. The part afterwards was even better, and so you can see that the school is having an impact on kids and on families too. So that's musicals at Narnia.
I trust in you.